I'm back in Katawa Shoujo. Uh, been a long time, like a week or something. And I think I just realized I thought I had uploaded everything. Turns out I had another video that I hadn't even rendered yet. So I'll put out that one before this one comes out. Probably both will be today though. So, Matao reads equations and formulas to us one by one in his usual unenthusiastic monotone directly from the book. It's possible that he might be excited about what he teaches us. Sometimes he can display an awkward spark of passion for it, as if he's starting to get into the material. Most days, however, are like this one. What we're covering is fairly simple, so I find it increasingly difficult to keep my concentration on him. It's not too long until my legs begin aching again, which makes it even harder. I am almost starting to regret walking around the city yesterday with Lily. Since leaving the hospital, I've done very little physical exertion. Walking to and from the local corner store hardly counts. Despite Emmy's attempts when I first arrived in Yamaku, I've largely given up on the idea of ever returning to my old level of fitness. I have little doubt that's why walking around town for so many hours has made me quite so sore. It's depressing. It reminds me of one more thing I can't do since I had my heart attack. Actually, you can do it, you just gave up on exercise. It makes me feel pathetic. Now, Ikazawa. That's Hanako. It's odd for Matao to ask Hanako a question, but not unheard of. She quickly jumps to her feet, a little startled, and immediately pins her eyes onto him. She knows that Matao calling on her is rare, so all eyes in the classroom are going to be on her. This way she doesn't run the risk of making eye contact with anyone else. Yes? In this particular example of a redox reaction, the combustion of methane reaction usually produces one more product than is listed. That product is methane, heat. Even though it's a softball question, she timidly waits a bit before answering, biting down slightly on her lower lip as if to keep concentration. Heat? Well done. This is an exothermic reaction, with the reaction giving more heat than it's put into it. Receiving a nod from Matao, Hanako takes her seat once again and gives a relieved sigh. A shaky start, but it's something. It'll be nice to take her out for her birthday, somewhere different from the usual isolation of her room and the tea room. With the progress she's made until now, I don't think she'll have much of a problem going to the city. Right then. For the remainder of the class, I'd like you to work in groups of 3 or 4 on the problems in Chapter 12. I'll be here if you need me. Hisao, run away. Get away from Misha and Shizune. And just go work with Hanako. Matao sits behind his desk, pulls some loose sheets out of a folder, and starts on some kind of paperwork of his own. I thought teachers were supposed to do that kind of thing after class, not during it. Regardless, I look to my right to pick someone out to form a group with. Given the 2 smiling faces hovering near mine, I don't think I'm going to get much say in the matter. I suppose we have a group then. He-chan, you want to work together? Okay, that's great. It's really been a while. The class begins the process of noisily shuffling the desks around, with Shizune doing the same as she puts hers in front of mine. She's a little lucky not to be able to hear the din of the classroom, which is loud enough to cause some discomfort. Truth be told, working with Shizune and Misha is probably a good outcome. Shizune and I are pretty good at this subject, and Misha has really nice handwriting. Hanako, join. As I look to Misha, I notice a tall figure behind her. The shadow catches Misha's attention as well, and she turns to face the dark-haired observer. Good afternoon, Hanako. Good, you're being nice. Hello. Shizune finally notices Hanako after looking up and following the gazes of Misha and I. In quick measure, she taps Misha on the shoulder to get her attention before signing away. Shi-chan says if you're looking for a group you can join ours. Hanako looks down and blushes a little at the offer. Out of the people in the class, Hanako's most familiar with the three of us, so it's reasonable that she'd come to us first. Then again, her actually coming up to a group with the intention of joining them is something she apparently very rarely did before. She leaves briefly to drag her desk over, and Shizune and Misha wheel back to me as soon as her back is turned. I guess we get to play again, Hichan. You hardly ever play with us anymore. What? Play? We're doing chemistry. I wonder why. You two always seem to have some ulterior motive. That hurt, Hichan. I'd almost think you were insulting me. I was. But it's Hichan, so I know that you're joking. Such a great sense of humor about it. It'd be awful if someone were to take advantage of your good nature, like making you help them with their work. Wah! Shizune seems excited for a second, a little surprised that I'm willing to challenge her, but when she sees Hanako coming back, she backs off with a smile. I guess mind games are over early today. Yes, separate them. Actually, no. What are you doing? Sit next to me. Hanako gently sits her desk in front of Misha's. Her eyes are locked downwards, and I'm left wondering why until I look around the class. Most are busy setting up their own groups, but a few are casting curious glances at her. At this range, it's hard to tell whether that is where their interest in her ends or if they're talking about her as well. It's strange, no one bats an eyelid when Hanako runs out of class to avoid group work, but now that she's making an effort, they're staring at her as if she's done something wrong. We all move to sort ourselves out, spreading our textbooks and worksheets around the larger surface created by the four joined desks. It isn't long before the class as a whole gets down to work. Hi, Hanako. It's nice to finally work with you. Yeah. Are you the reason Hichan has been avoiding us lately? Yes. Shichan says it's a little rude, but if Hichan wanted to spend time with a cute girl, it's understandable. I don't think it's like that. Hanako starts to fidget, unused to this kind of attention. I think that an ordinary person would drop the conversation by now, but Misha is like the antithesis of Hanako. Part of that includes being blind to ordinary social cues, while Hanako is overly sensitive to them. Because of that, Misha barrels ahead with the questions too quickly for me to get a chance to interject and guide the discussion out somewhere more comfortable. Really? So he wasn't hanging out with you yesterday? No. I can feel my cover being blown already. No. You are just evil. Unless you're translating, but I think it's you. Feel my cover being blown already. Lily didn't want Hanako to know that we were out buying presents for her, let alone planning out her birthday party. It wouldn't be good for her to find out. I was doing something else. You know how it is. No. Do not start interrogating. Really? I wonder what was so important for Hichan to blow us off like that. If it wasn't to spend time with Hanako, then what could it be? It's really interesting. Yeah, interrogation. Now this is starting to feel like an interrogation. I'm surprised at how Misha is able to exert such a feeling of pressure without actually intending to. Were you with Lily? Don't join in, please. Out of nowhere, Hanako manages to stumble on the answer. She may be dreadfully quiet and shy, but she's very intuitive. What makes you say that? I'm turning into Hanako. Yesterday, Lily said something similar. Oh, don't you dare. Suspicious. Hichan, I demand that you explain yourself. Hey, shouldn't we be doing the assignment? Yeah, drop it. Drop it, everything. Hanako, nothing happened. Don't worry. But it's so mysterious. Even Hanako wants to know. I turn to look at Hanako. It's true from the expression of her face. It's obvious that she wants to know as well, and I think we're past the point where I could weasel out to having to provide an explanation. I apologized to Lily in my mind. She really did want to keep it a secret. But now it doesn't seem possible anymore. I feel a rush of conflicting emotions so jumbled that I can't readily identify them. But they crash around in my head as I try to calm down and speak. Alright, I'll tell you. I went into town with Lily, but it wasn't what you think. Lily and I were, for Hanako's birthday, the cat is out of the bag, but it looks like Hanako's taking it a little better than I thought I would. What? I butchered that. A brief silence passes around our little group as Shizune and Misha look at each other sheepishly. Yeah, you two ruined everything. You don't even know you ruined it. She, at least, is embarrassed a bit. A brief silence passes around our little group as Shizune and Misha look at each other sheepishly. I just read that. Why'd I reread? Okay. I can tell that they didn't expect their game to turn out like this. Misha looks up to Hanako in order to apologize, then pauses. Hanako is staring at the middle of her desk, barely moving, a maudlin expression on her face. I guess I was wrong about her taking it well. Hanako? I'm sorry. There's a few seconds pause, but Hanako lifts and shakes her head. It's okay. Her expression looks odd, like she's very tired. That doesn't seem natural, but it's nothing alarming. Nobody really wants to continue this with the current conversation, so we open our textbook and begin our group work. This is pretty dull. While the equations we're supposed to work out as a group will take a while, most of it's going to be boringly mechanical. It also doesn't help that while that didn't go as bad as it could have, it has left an awkward atmosphere around us. Still, we manage. Shizune's face betrays that she has about the same expectations of our work as I do, and the two of us begin to write our group's results. Misha, on the